Yes, our children, drink deep and feel the searing embrace of the first one. Now it is time for you to acquire what you came for.
The burning in your veins is but a moment of discomfort in your transition to the great beyond. Now we welcome you to your eternity. Drink deeply, have faith, and join us in this sermon.
Welcome back to Koolaid Stand. I'm Stephen.
I am Jett.
And last week we went to see a concert together. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was last week.
Made me feel old.
Yeah, it did, dude. Oh my god. We left early.
We did.
And there were two other people there, and we all agreed to leave early because our feet and backs hurt.
We went down to Seattle. We took the public transit system that we have in the greater Seattle area. And we made it down there. We drank on the way down as we do as tradition, and we made it to the venue. We got in there. It was the Showbox Soto. We saw Carpenter Brute, and Health were the co-headliners, and Desire was the opener. Not your scene normally.
No, not at all.
For a show.
I very much enjoyed Carpenter Brute's set. The other two were not really for me, but like you said, it's not my scene in general.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there myself, where it's like I've been to shows where I didn't really like a lot of the music, honestly. But I was there for somebody else.
Right.
So, I could still manage to have an okay time at those. But Carpenter Brute we were all there for. Unfortunately, we left halfway through Health, and after I was done with Health. With the show, I put them on like yesterday when I was at the gym, and I was like, damn, these guys kind of rock. I wish I got to see all of it. The issue is like after like halfway through Brute's set, honestly, I think before Brute got on, like we were all like, our feet kind of hurt.
We were stretching.
Yeah, it's like standing room only, hard concrete floors. And that shit sucked. I wore shoes that I would be comfortable standing all night in. Some of you did not. I think you wore Converse.
Yeah, I wore Chucks, which was a bad choice.
Yep. Very flat-footed, very thin. But our backs were fucking stiff. And Carpenter Brute banged. It was an amazing show.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to see him live for a long time, and it rocked. I didn't know you could pack so much fog on stage.
I know, they were just silhouettes on the stage because there was so much fun. It almost looked like they were like behind a screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could have got the same effect almost by just putting a screen in front of the entire performance.
It was so cool looking. Did you get to see much of the lasers? They weren't even lasers. They were really strong, thin lighting. But yeah.
Oh yeah, there were lights above the stage that were shining through the fog.
Oh, you didn't get to see the ones below.
I guess not.
Yeah,
they had a
whole. I get you might have. They had a whole like array of lower lighting that they shined upward, and they did like a lot of sine wave stuff. It looked really cool. Very red. They stole our drip, frankly.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get R&D on that to see if we've got a legal case.
It looked really cool. They basically the whole show is very like red. He's the technical term I believe is horrorcore electric artist.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And not because it's scary, but because it kind of matches the vibe of a horror film from like the 80s.
That makes sense. It feels too like his music's still too dancey to me for me to say that. But I'm not familiar with like his whole discography, obviously. I'm mostly a fan of his like by proxy, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we used to play like games together, and if it was like a large kind of open crafting game, we would put on like music and we'd all listen to it while we played. And Carpenter Brute went on a lot between all of us, and he closed with Maniac. It's his best song. It's a cover
So
of
cool.
the song Maniac. So cool. He did a lot of crowd surfing. He kept reminding everybody that he wanted to see them crowd surfing, which was fun.
Yeah.
I don't think he spoke a word. He was just like, he had like a soundboard that he could play sentences on.
Yeah, he kept hitting about. They would go, I wanted to remind you that you are free to crowd surf tonight.
It was awesome. Desire was cool. I didn't even know Desire was gonna be there. It's just a duo, a French duo. One of them is on the synth, and the other one is a very pretty lady who sings. And I've listened to a bunch of their songs, so it was cool to see them. Health was cool, the part that we did see, but like we were saying, we were also fucking exhausted. We left before Health got on, and to go get a dog, a Seattle dog.
Yeah, we got hot dogs.
We went back in, and they were playing, and I was enjoying it. The line for the merch was dead, so I went to go get my merch, and we were all sitting there. Music was all right, and I realized that everyone kept fucking arguing, or not arguing, but everyone was like, "Oh, I'm so tired. We have another thing to go to. Oh, my feet are..."
Yeah, we were bitching and moaning, and I was like, I live much further away from the venue than everybody else that was in that group. Yeah. So I was looking at the time, and I was like, "Fuck." I was expecting to be home at like 11:30. Now it's looking like 1:30 a.m.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were all bitching and moaning for sure.
So I was like, everyone wants to go home. I bet we're all just waiting for somebody to say it. And I was like, I could stay for the rest of the show and it would be awesome, but it's going to get packed on the light rail back. And so I leaned in and to Travis first and was like, "You want to get out of here?" And he was like, "Yeah." And so then I leaned over and put my arm around Jett and Dylan, and I was like, "What do you guys say we get out of here?" And they're just like, "Yep." And we all walked
let's
out.
Go. Yeah, no. Once we went and got our dogs, and I ate my dog, I was
lost my momentum.
I lost my momentum, and I felt like a little better because I was real hungry at that point. Yeah. And I was able to like squat down out there, give my legs a little bit of a rest, and I was like, "Yeah, I feel better than I felt inside now."
It sucks because just last year I went to a show at the same venue, but we were up on the upper area, which is like a wood deck, and it's crazy how much of a difference that makes on your little feetsies.
I know. Yeah, I'm 25 years old, and I'm already like realizing how much of a difference the material of the floor you're standing on makes by the end of the night.
It's crazy. I don't know what changed other than the fact that I got older. Like I used to be able to do that and be fine. But maybe it's because I spend less time on my feet. I don't know.
Well, we've both like switched to office jobs, which maybe has something to do with it. Like I used to be on my feet all day at work when I was a cook, and we had like the mats on the floor, which definitely help when you're working on a line. But other than that, it was like hard tile flooring, which my back would still hurt after a long shift. But I think that probably made me more used to just standing around on a hard floor for a long time. I think the office job has weakened my bones a little bit.
It's okay. I don't know. I feel like maybe we're probably just getting older. My dad was making fun of me, and I was like, "Dude, you don't get it. Like, yeah, I am young, but this shit starts early, I guess. Like, I don't know. I've been kind of hard on my legs, but like, otherwise, I'm getting healthy, and I don't. Yeah, it sucked. But the show was awesome.
It was
a lot of a lot of like cool speech about like sermon and very kind of churchy sounding. The album he was touring on was called Leather Temple. So that was cool. And speaking of temples and sermons and clergy and Koolaid Stand, I think it's time we talk about the Catholic Church some more.
Dude, it's been too long.
We just can't get enough, and it's been too long. Frankly, I think the Catholic Church is my Roman Empire, as ironic as that sounds. My Holy Roman Empire, perhaps?
I think you're probably right about that.
I'm just thinking about it and how odd that it's been throughout all of history.
Yep.
I don't think it's out of place or would surprise anyone to say that one of our favorite pastimes on this show is making fun of decisions the church has made, or the oddities and ironies of the temperament of the church, or the foundations of its religion. And if I took someone as an example and I told you their religion is known for revering bones, displaying the mummified remains of corpses or of holy people, it has a propensity for ritualizing the use of human remains, you'd imagine a cultist, right? Some wacko.
Pagans.
A pagan, a necromancer, a Satanist, or some evil voodoo practitioner. At least that's what our Protestant roots would lead you to believe. But I'm not kidding when I say what I just described is a deeply Catholic practice.
Oh yeah. I wonder if this is one of those things that they sort of co-opted from the pagans that they were prosecuting to have some of their practices present in their religion to get people to convert. We've talked about that a bit before.
Yeah, I think that's very, very possible. What I also think is incredibly possible is that saints and martyrdom in Catholicism is a way to control cults that spring up around highly personable people.
Yeah.
If they start preaching the Bible a certain way and people start to follow them, right? Because people can't read the Bibles for a lot of this. When they die, cults immediately form, and their parts and body pieces get venerated into relics. So the church canonizes and beatifies them to basically be like, look, no, these guys are really important. They for sure made it to heaven, and you're welcome to pray to them. But make sure that you don't pray to not God. You're praying to God. You're praying to how much they loved God.
Yeah, and they go out of their way to make sure that can't happen with guys like Jan Hus, who would be venerated if their followers got the chance.
Yes. Even when tossing around this idea of body worship and stuff, someone connected to us at a second degree, I'd say, a devout Catholic, stated that the idea of a, quote, relic was too creepy a term for Catholicism, and the Catholic Church doesn't maintain relics. But they do.
Do they use a different name, or they just do?
Nope, they call them relics.
That's what I thought, yeah.
In fact, the depth of the Catholic reliquary is immense and piled high with the corpses of the long past, as well as possible articles going back to the inception of Christianity itself and the Passion. Catholics are careful to note that relics are not meant to be iconographied. I think I made that word up, but it makes sense. But meant to be used to express thanksgiving to the saint or blessed which it comes from, as they are venerated as a true disciple of the teachings of God, and often sacrificed much to support the holy word. The relics themselves are not magic, just mementos. But that doesn't really stop them from pretty much just iconographing the mementos anyway.
Yeah, I saw a couple that we're going to talk about today that are consistently pictured on, I guess, like Catholic art and icons and stuff like that.
I don't know what else to say other than like that's an icon. Like it's just. But
people are probably pretty. People probably argue academically about what constitutes an icon and what doesn't. I'm sure that happens.
They do,
but
there's a whole school of teaching that's just designed to make sure that like you maintain the ideas and concepts of the church when people start asking questions about it. This is called apologetics, and they would say that they understand things better than I do. I feel like we have a pretty similar basis of knowledge, and just the way that it works. I would claim that these are you're iconographing these individuals. You're creating idols.
Yeah. I would certainly say that there is iconography of these things, whether they are religious icons by that specific definition or not. There absolutely is iconography.
For sure. And so there's a reason that not everyone's Catholic. There's disagreements within the church itself. You can't just say that I'm wrong. You just have different interpretations of the scripture. I also need to note that my point about a Catholic saying the church doesn't deal in relics is slightly off base. Christianity is a broad umbrella with a long and storied history of its fractures and the wakes they caused. Many of our episodes have been dedicated to examining these moments. Not all Catholics believe in relics, and I find the unquestioning belief in them to be credulous. But some mistake the air of skepticism, some sects possess for general fable. The church most certainly possesses a considerable reliquary. That much is true.
Oh, yeah.
A reliquary, if you do not know, is either a collection of relics like an armory, which is what gave me the idea for this episode today. Or an item you put a relic in is also a reliquary. They could be little gold boxes.
Okay.
We'll see lots of that. We'll see lots of that today too.
I thought it was like the museum, but yeah, I'm aware of like the fancy, like they look like fucking graded baseball cards.
Cool as fuck.
They're like kept in glass and gold boxes and stuff.
I can't imagine the skill on hand to make something like that in like 680.
The Crown of Thorns got a PSA 10. We got it in a sleeve.
So today, R&D got us a skeleton key to the Catholic Church's reliquary, and I think we're going to rate it like a war chest, attempting to build the best armory of relics to be used in a conceptual battle, and see who ends up with the better stack of loot to be judged by a private board of Catholics that I'll assemble after we do this part. So we'll
awesome.
Come back. We each get to choose like 6 or... no, I added 2 more. So, God damn it. We each get to choose like 6 or 7 relics in a fantasy football style. And here are the available antiquities.
Okay.
We have the Spear of Destiny, the Crown of Thorns, the Holy Dexter, the largest piece of the True Cross, the blood of Saint Januarius, the incorrupt body of Saint Catherine, the reunited corpse of Saint John the Baptist, the skull of Mary Magdalene, the heart of Saint Camillus, the tongue and jaw of Saint Anthony of Padua, the finger of Thomas the Doubter, the true skull of Saint John Chrysostom, the foreskin of Jesus Christ, and the fingers of Pope Formosus.
Yo!
He's back. I have notes about the last 2, but we'll deal with that when we start picking. You see some good first round picks. I need you to kind of support with the fantasy language, but
yeah, I got to admit, I have just a soft spot for the fingers of Pope Formosus.
Fair enough, yeah.
Because of our episode about him.
Yeah, that's why I added it.
I don't know how strong of a pick that's going to be come game day, but you know, he's kind of those fingers are kind of a cult hero on the show.
I think I'm building a team here. I think, you know, we have lots of corpse pieces. And we have corpses, so I might try to like build a saint warrior that will fight alongside me.
Yeah, there you go. You can give him a spear, and you can give him a crown. It looks like,
yeah,
and multiple sets of fingers. You can give him a tongue and a jaw. Yeah, we can get sort of an exquisite corpse thing going on.
Yeah,
maybe form one big saint.
Yeah, yeah. Put them all together, like a General Grievous of
we can saints. Put blood inside of him. I forgot about that one.
The blood's really cool. All these are sick, but yeah. Okay, all right. I think I got some ideas. We're gonna flip a coin and pick who goes first. Okay. We're not doing a snake draft. We're just gonna flip flop.
There's not enough picks to do that anyway.
Yeah. All right, I'm flipping. Do you want heads or tails?
I want tails.
It is heads.
All right.
I get to go first. We're gonna
the number one pick.
The number one pick, a strong first pick. I think the whole team could be built around this. I'm going to go with the entire reunited corpse of Saint John the Baptist. That is a very strong pick.
Yeah, that gives you a whole body to start out with. I don't know if this is the right sort of guidelines to be going by, that we're trying to just make a guy. This feels like a strong pick.
There's another very strong pick as well. So we're gonna scroll the script down to the reunited corpse of Saint John the Baptist. John the Baptist, or John the Forerunner, okay, was a popular Jewish preacher in the area of the River Jordan. He was considered to be a prophet of God. And believed that, or Yahweh, since he was Jewish, and believed that there would be a messianic figure greater than himself, and as such is revered to be one of the most vital prophets by all Abrahamic religions that believe in a Messiah. He was responsible for the baptism of Jesus Christ of Nazareth and essentially ushering the Christian Messiah. With how pivotal his role is in modern Abrahamic religions, it's no wonder that somehow a few places have copies of the same body parts. What started me on this joke is One place claims to own his skull, another claims to own his mandible, another place says that they have his right hand. So we've got all the parts. Fuck it. Let's reassemble John the Forerunner and just call the whole thing a Relic Entron. I want.
Did somebody chop him up or something?
Dude, so when
I
these
don't know the
die,
story.
When these saints die, people like get to their body and just fucking pull them apart. I'm not joking. It's fucking horrifying.
It doesn't seem like a very
no
godly way to treat a saint.
No, it does not. But these people are so important in their local areas that they just get like ripped to pieces and their body parts are preserved and embalmed. I will say this preservation is called incorruption, and immediately people will claim that God is intervening with the decay of this corpse and preventing it from rotting away. But like everyone who owns a relic like this 100% knows they embalmed it. So yeah. I don't know why incorruption is a concept when like it's just embalming. I think it's probably just more taken ideas from local. I mean, right? Like Christianity is very intertwined with Egypt, so it's probably a play to incorporate local practice there into their religion and just say.
So something. There's a concept that they just took the body part, set it aside, and did nothing to it,
and it did not rot.
I mean, I'm looking at the picture, and it's like it looks mummified. You know, yep. If it was maintained by God, I would imagine it would still look like the day he died or something like that.
I've got one of the most popular relics of John the Baptist here. It's his dome piece. Well, actually, it's his face. It's like maxilla on like the front half of his skull.
Yeah, it seems to just be the front half.
Yeah, it's preserved on a golden dish in this kind of like crazy glass canopy. And then around his face, they do this a lot. They dress it to create a what's called a holy visage, and it's sick as fuck to say, and they're cool to look at. It's very gothic. Yeah,
good pick. It's first crazy overall. Looking.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot express honestly how important John the Baptist is to the religion. I mean, he's basically pre-Christ, and yeah, it's crazy. So, Jett, you're allowed to take your pick now.
Okay, man. Okay, my first pick, only one relic is off the table, so I gotta get a strong one here. This is tough. I think I'm gonna go a different route from you, and instead of getting a body part, I'm gonna take the crown of thorns.
Oh shit! That was my second pick. All
that's a classic, you know. This is like LeBron. He's been in the league forever, and this is fantasy football that we're making fun of, not basketball, but you know,
okay.
He's a long-time vet of the league. One of, if not the all-time great. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him.
He's been there at the most important moments.
Absolutely,
being multiple the most important moment. And one championship being just the Passion of Christ. Dude, the Crown of Thorns is crazy. Take a look at this fucking thing.
Oh my god, the casing that they have this thing in and the picture you have, it's like a transparent donut-shaped tube.
A torus, if you will.
Sure, a torus. And you can see the Crown of Thorns inside the tube, but like maybe like 3/4 of it or 2/3 of the tube are wrapped in this really ornate golden crown of thorns design.
Yeah. Super cool. Yeah, no, it looks awesome. So according to the New Testament, during the Passion, being the crucifixion of Christ, the Romans placed a woven crown of thorns upon Christ's head as a mock to his proposed authority as a religious leader. The relic appeared in 400 AD, so 400 years after his, in Anno Domini, after the rebirth and death of Christ. And Emperor Baldwin II of Constantinople sold it to Louis IX of France in 1239 as a way to help stem his exorbitant military debt, to which it has been in French possession ever since. It's been saved from fires. It's, I believe, currently in the Louvre.
Huh. Okay. So this is not real.
It's hard to say.
I wonder how the object that's like actually inside this tube in the picture came about.
I mean, this article right here has at least existed for the last fucking 1600 years.
Right, which still makes it an incredibly
this is
interesting
an incredible piece of
and
history.
cool historical relic, regardless of whether it was on Jesus Christ's head or not.
I also think there's some credence to the fact that there are no other Crown of Thorns. Some of these relics exist in multiples and are owned in multiple reliquaries that are very like pious. Like they would do their research. So, there's no other copies of it. I think it might just be too important to say that like you're like, oh, I've got it. And it's way too late now, but
this one's been around. Exactly. This one's been around so long that, if somebody now was like, oh, I found the real one in 2026.
Also, this is easy to hold on to. Like, you know what I mean? Like Christ dies, the cross is placed down. Someone runs up and grabs, they rip his fucking body apart. Someone runs up and grabs his crown. And
this is not something that gets buried. It's not something that you need to embalm.
Yeah.
It's just something you can grab and run off with.
It still is crazy. That very well may have been on Christ's head. I believe Christ was a real individual and Christ really was crucified. Anything around that is up to argument, in my opinion.
Especially whether this thing right here was on
his
head.
It? Yes. I don't know, Jett, are you on the same mind that at least this person was a real person?
I think so, but honestly,
we pretty much know he was.
I would have to do research to like talk about it,
Sure. Yeah, no, fair enough. Which I have done episodes and episodes of. So
yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right. You got the Crown of Thorns. Good fucking pick. You're kind of interfering with my team build right now.
Well,
but
good.
Fair enough. I think I need to give the reunited corpse of Saint John the Baptist the Holy Dexter.
You need to give him the Dexter. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming I'm about to find out.
You're not ready for it. I think you'll fuck with this one pretty heavy, actually. So
okay, I don't know what a Dexter is.
A Dexter is a right hand.
Oh, okay. Dexterity, dexterous.
Saint Stephen, or King Saint Stephen, or King Stephen the First, was the last prince ever of the Hungarians and the very first king of Hungary, the nation.
Okay.
He unified the Carpathian Basin, which is a large area of southeast central Europe. It's a pretty important space. It's right in the middle of shit. And successfully protected the sovereignty of Hungary from the invading forces of the Holy Roman Emperor Conrad II. And boy, do we love a guy who fucked off the Catholic Church.
Now the Catholic Church likes his hand?
Yes. Because we were saying, like, when people die, they form a cult, and then the Catholic Church needs to, like, venerate them or risk a cult and
like
an outbreak of their power. Yeah. Also, Conrad II was kind of an asshole, so, like, the next pope ended up canonizing him. After Stephen's death, chaos broke out in Hungary immediately, but his death left him a martyr, and he amassed a literal cult following post-mortem. His hand was stolen from his corpse and kept as a relic, which then was stolen by a cleric and then returned. Honestly, part of history, especially with relics, it was just popular to steal them. And it's popular to write that into their biography after they've been stolen. Like, the idea of them being stolen and returned was just an amusing portion of mystique around relics that was enjoyed and kind of reveled in for some reason, which is, I think, funny. This is sick as hell. They're all cool, but like this is like a god damn. I cannot imagine the skill required to make that at the time. It's a glass cylinder closed on both ends. I don't know how they put this fucking thing in there. And the hand is cuffed and closed off at the edge with gold like wrapping around the wrist. 2 bands. It's kind of clutched up, and it sits on a golden mat it's tied to. and that sits on a cushion, like a velvet cushion, and that whole glass cylinder is just wrapped in gold shit, and then it's put on a pedestal.
This is ridiculously ornate.
It's awesome.
This little cylinder that it's in.
The King of Hungary. So, I don't know, I thought you'd fuck with that.
That is pretty good. This whole practice of like just ripping a body apart in an effort to make relics out of it is very amusing to me.
I agree. There's some that I cut out. Men don't experience this as much as women do, unfortunately. Think I could make an argument about like
the body being torn apart thing.
Yeah, yes. Like patriarchal presence. The women get torn apart in more gruesome ways too. Like they're cut apart in more sections than men are. I think that probably has something to do with patriarchal presence back in the time.
Oh, for sure.
Women being viewed less as they're not. It's not as important to bury them whole. But yeah, I need a Lord's hand, and the Holy Dexter will be part of my plan.
Yeah, sounds like this hand is capable of fighting
Creating
off
nations.
Some pretty impressive enemies. Yes, creating nations. I think this is a strong pick for sure.
A second round pick. I think you can see my team synergies forming.
Okay, I have a crown.
Okay. Yeah.
But I guess I need something to wear the crown, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm gonna go for Saint Catherine.
Ooh, good fucking pick. So Saint Catherine, or Catherine, she's French, so it's hard to tell. Is a huge part of Catholic culture, and in general, she's like, also I get to say a bunch of really cool Catholic shit. So Saint Catherine, or Catherine Leboire, or Bore, was a French member of the Daughters of Charity and a Marian visionary. So you've probably heard Hail Marys and like talking about Mary. Mary being the mother of Christ is very important to a lot of Catholics. The Virgin Mary is critical to a lot of Catholic respect. She's responsible for producing the miraculous medal of Our Lady of Graces.
Oh.
This is, I don't have a picture of it here for some reason because I'm an idiot, but you've seen it. Catholic, I'll put it up in the show, but Catholic imagery revolves around this. It's like that picture of Mary where she's like slightly hooded and like has her hands down to her sides and she's like standing on a globe. There's like rays coming out of her.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, you've seen that. That she created this. This is all her.
So she made like a medal that had that image on it, and that's where that image comes from. Okay.
And it's, I would say, one of the most important pieces of iconography from the Catholic Church, other than maybe the crucifixion of Christ. It's like so important to many people in the religion. She was a visionary and claimed that she was instructed by the Virgin Mother Mary in visions in her evening prayers, that she was given pieces of this image, and then she would tell her father, not her actual dad, but like the father of the children of charity or daughters of charity, and then they would create the image and then stamp it onto medals, and people would wear it as a piece similar to a cross. I mean, almost in placement of. Crazy, really important. After death, her body was discovered to be incorrupt, which, like I said, Catholics and Orthodox believe is a sign of divine intervention. Preventing a body's natural decay is a demonstration of that person's holiness. The person was most certainly embalmed, but regardless, it lays in a display case within the Chapel of Our Lady of Graces of the Miraculous Medal.
Nice.
Hell yeah. I love Catholic titles.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Forever laying with one of the most important pieces of Catholic iconography in our modern time that she helped produce. Regardless of what you think, I think this is a beautiful honor.
So our picture here is like a giant,
that's her,
to be marble casket, and one of the sides is clear and framed in very ornate gold, as all of these things are, and she's laying in there on a pillow. She's wearing her, I don't know what you call that, like a habit. She's wearing like her robes and her big white hat.
It's a very French nun thing for the time, but yes. And her hands are forever in prayer with her rosary. What a beautiful display. I can't tell if that's actually her. They put like a death mask on or something, but
I was gonna say this looks like
it looks
it looks like a wax figure, man.
Yeah. I think this might not be her corpse as it was a long time ago, and they may have replaced it with a wax figure and then given her proper burial, but regardless, her visage and its display are forever in a church built around the idea that she helped produce, and I think that's fucking awesome. It's a good pick.
Dude, I feel good about this pick. I didn't know fully about the pick when I made it, if I'm being completely honest, but I feel like it's a good one because I got her and I got the crown of thorns now.
Absolutely. How crazy. I think, all right, I'm a skeptic myself. I've been called the Doubting Thomas before. I think I need to go with the finger of Thomas the Doubter. That's mine. That's my third pick. I'm liking the direction. I need a lot of hand parts for my ideas here.
Yeah, why are you're getting so many hands?
These are replacements. So we gotta scroll down here. And the finger of Thomas the Doubter. So of all of Christ's followers, he had one man most skeptical. Thomas the Doubter, also known as Thomas the Skeptic, or Doubting Thomas, is known mostly for his doubt.
Sure. That would make sense given the title.
He doubted that Christ was God made flesh. After Christ's death and subsequent resurrection, Thomas found him and again represented his skepticism. Christ showed him his wounds, particularly of his chest from his rib puncture during the Passion, and invited him to press his finger into him to prove he truly did resurrect. This moment would convert Thomas truly, and Christ would forgive him, but not without a gentle reminder that blessed are those who have not seen and yet have come to believe.
I hate that.
Yeah. Today, that very finger is said to exist, and here it is.
That's such a dangerous concept to push on people. You're better if you follow blindly. That's better than needing some form of proof.
Also, Christ didn't condemn him for his doubt. So I mean, there's I could see it both ways, but yeah, no, I agree. But it's religion though, right? Absolute faith is required.
Yeah.
The finger of Doubting Thomas is just a finger bone. It sits in a golden cage shaped like a finger, so you can see it, and that sits. It looks like on the head of a staff.
Yeah, I can't tell if maybe this is there's just a stand underneath the sort of stem we're seeing.
Yeah,
it sort of looks like a mirror that you would put on a desk or something. Right? A small mirror. But instead of a mirror, it's like a big oval frame with the finger inside of it.
Yeah. It also is made of gold. Got the cross on it and everything. Yeah, no, it's cool though. If that is the finger, that'd be nuts. This is old enough for me to be skeptic about it, which call me a Doubting Thomas. That's my third pick.
I'm a bit of a Doubting Thomas. It's like a bone fragment.
Yeah.
Look at your finger and look at how small the bones in there are.
Yeah.
This is part of one of those.
I think it looks a little long to me. It might be like his first carpal, which would be like the very first joint in his first. I think it was his right finger, but yeah, I mean, still cool though.
Very cool.
All right, what's your third round pick?
Oh, I got to take my cult favorite, man. I'm going to take my own set of fingers here. The fingers of Pope Formosus. I have to have them on my team. I waited a little bit, but I gotta have them.
They've had some mid-game injuries in the past for sure. I think he's kind of. I thought he was down and out, but I hear on paper he's kind of making a comeback this season.
Yeah, he's definitely been injury prone in the past. He's missed half of a season. His team didn't even get to the playoffs. And,
he's kind of been through it.
But if he can stay healthy this year, I think he could be back. The numbers look good so far. I will say that.
I'm excited to see his performance. Unfortunately, this is another relic that does not exist.
Damn it.
And the reason is because of what Jett had already explained in our second episode ever, the Cadaver Synod. Pope Stephen VI's main goal in ensuring the absolute desecration and mistreatment of Formosus' corpse was to ensure no relics could be collected, and thus the Pope he understood he was violating could never be venerated in respect for his posthumous mistreatment. But like the Church yearns for another relic that I have on this list, we yearn for Formosus' justice. All of these centuries later, and I'd like to think we want those digits to show up just as bad as they want that other thing. So this one's for us.
Okay, is there a reliquary somewhere that has something that's supposed to be these?
No one even claims to have them.
Oh, okay.
This is all me.
So I picked nothing.
Well, but for our intents and purposes, I've created a relic for us to have.
Okay, I was going to be really interested if somebody was claiming to have them, right? Because we're pretty sure that he was thrown into a river and never found.
Yeah. Another thing, like I instead of Pope Formosus' pick was a replacement for another one, just because we're more attached to it. But there's another saint that I think is a little bit cooler than this story, just in how gruesome it is. Saint Bartholomew was skinned alive.
Oh,
and
like for real?
For real.
That's kind of a fucked up thing to do.
I tried to see if like anyone claimed to have his skin, but there wasn't anything solid enough for me to say, like, was it?
I've got a coat made of a saint's skin.
I was like, the cloak of Saint Bartholomew or something was gonna be instead of the
hide.
The hide. But yeah, I replaced that one out. So
that's fine.
Right.
This is just a story I love. It's like attached to the show too. This is our logo.
Yeah. The hand of Port Formosus is our logo. So really cool. And I love that story in general. I need an engine for this machine I'm building here. So I think I'm gonna take.
You got a lot of body parts today, especially hands.
I think I'm gonna take the heart of Saint Camillus.
The heart, okay. You got to get everything running. That makes sense.
Yeah. So the heart of Saint Camillus is another cool one. This one's real. So.
Ooh, yucky.
Yeah, it's very shriveled. It's totally incorrupt though.
Imagine the organ lady brings this in.
This is what happens when you care for the sick. Camillus de Lillis, or Saint Camillus, is the patron saint of the ill. He founded the Chameleons, not the Chameleons, which was a religious order of doctors dedicated to protecting and healing the sick. Once a military man and a degenerate gambler, Camillus returned to priesthood, and due to a chronic leg injury, would find a sense of kinship and in healing and helping the feeble and sick. The Chameleons, he founded, vowed to help the sick even at the cost of one's own life or in direct peril. And even though he himself was chronically plagued by his injury, he rejected aid and would instead crawl to his patients to administer healing. He was a respected healer and a prophet, and truly is a genuine example of someone who understands the teachings of Christ. Camillus is also known by most military corpsmen because he was a military doctor. And Saint Camillus is a lot of people's patron saint. Thankfully, like all saints, he was beatified and canonized, which means he was posthumously guaranteed access to heaven through the Catholic Church, which they could do, remember, in my Sin of Indulgences episode.
Right.
And regardless of our lampooning, for a Catholic, there is truly no higher honor. He likely was too humble to even accept such a great reward. From his autopsy, his heart was extracted and noted to be incorrupted, so it was placed in a reliquary that exists today for veneration. As you can tell, I greatly respect this man.
Yeah, having a heart that never degrades is probably a pretty good thing to have.
Yep.
And I can see how like medics or like military doctors would really identify with this guy, because this sort of
selfless
sort of policy he has of like the only thing I'm here to do is save lives and do what I can to help people at the cost of whatever might be the cost.
Yeah.
That tends to be kind of like not the oath, but like the idea that you have to follow when you're in a position like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a little bit odd, the reliquary here. It's his heart is placed within a large
A heart-shaped box, if you will.
Classic, yeah. A large classic heart-shaped glass capsule. And then that is placed within a heart frame that is adorned in what looks to me like rubies and ornate gold wire work.
And there's a red cross. I wonder if that's where that came from.
It might be.
His order, the chameleons, maybe.
Well, his cloak that he wore was covered in red crosses as well. So yeah, it might be a good call. I didn't look into it, but he's very important to people who are healers. So
well, this is also good if you've got any injury-prone players. This guy can probably
true.
I've got a healer take care of that. Yeah, you don't even need a team doctor anymore.
I got a cleric, or yeah, however I want to play this. But yes,
you've got a teammate that actually wants to play healer. All right, let's see here. What do I want now? I think, gosh, you're so stacked on body parts, but I did take a whole body and a hand. So I'm going to go back in the other direction, and I'm going to take the Spear of Destiny.
Fuck. All right, I need to change my strategy. I cannot arm my exquisite corpse. The Spear of Destiny. After Christ was crucified, Saint Longinus was said to Longinus was said to take a spear and stab him in the ribs. I don't know why. After which, water leaked from the wound, not blood. This moment was only briefly mentioned, really in passing, in the Bible. But into the 6th century, nearly 600 years after the death of Christ, full spearheads as well as fragments began to appear in collections and in reliquaries. We do have some detailed illustrations of what the spear looked like, and I've included an image of the most popular one held in Vienna with their display of imperial regalia. It's not even the main piece. Here it is next to a large piece of the True Cross, which is another item that we have.
Oh,
but yeah,
okay.
Down there is what they claim to be the spear that pierced Christ's ribs.
Is this the spear that made the hole that Thomas put his fingy in?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty
cool.
Call
back. So that's it.
This seems like a good thing to have. This is one that multiple people claim to have in real life.
Yes.
Okay.
So it probably doesn't exist at all, if I'm being real.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the one in this picture, it's the one in the bottom left, right?
Yes.
It looks so new.
Yeah, for before history, or like for a 2,600-year-old, or sorry, a 2,000-year-old item, like.
Yeah, it looks so perfect. Like there's no pieces missing. It doesn't look like chipped or damaged at all. It just kind of looks a little discolored.
I mean, it's been preserved in a glass case for like 600 years, or since 600, so for like 1,400 years. But like, I don't know, man. It's even then, I feel like we find 400, 600-year-old Greek weapons and stuff, and they're just rotted. So I don't,
Also, most spears, I think, looked much more simple than this. This is a very like ornate kind of spearhead.
Yeah, I think someone was really feeling themselves. But I don't know.
Representation of
it looks like what it was drawn. So
an important part of the story, and it's always good to have a spear because I've got a weapon now.
Yeah, you got a weapon and a crown. So
I have multiple sharp objects now.
I think I have to pick this one up before you pick it up. I can't let you get too powerful with accessories.
Okay.
I need to take the largest piece of the True Cross.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So, obviously, relics relating to Christ are some of the most popular to covet. I think there's a tiering system too, with like how close to Christ the items are, but particularly of the climatic moment of the Passion. From the spear that pierced him to the crown he wore as he died on the cross, every piece of the moment is important to the pious, and every scrap that can be found in relation to it would be venerated. There are many pieces of the very cross Christ died upon, and of course, that has been quite the topic of validity, with some prominent figures proclaiming that if you acquired every known, quote, piece of the true cross, that you'd have two crosses. But some French theologians have done the math. It was a long time ago, though. And it is likely that if you add up every known fragment of the true cross, at least for the time that they were counting them, they only made up a fraction of a traditional Roman cross. So for a long time, there weren't too many pieces. So I don't know how many there are now, but I think if it's really old, it might actually be a part of the cross.
I was going to say, do you know when this particular piece of the true cross is supposed to have, like, when was somebody like, I've got a piece of it? How
I don't
long has
know.
this specific piece been known of, I guess is what I'm asking.
I don't know when they started popping up. For our purposes, I'm just going to say that whichever one is the biggest, that's the one that we're going to be able to use.
Yeah. This I ask because this seems like something you would need to preserve.
As like a wood piece. Yeah, I don't know what kind of wood they were made out of, but to be fair, I need you to understand, I'm sure you do, but like a listener might not. The crosses people were crucified on were gargantuan. These are very large structures. I mean, maybe like 11 feet tall. Does that sound right?
I don't know, but
And at least
big
6
enough to
feet
have
wide,
a guy
right?
on them.
Yeah, I mean, they were large, like pillars. And so that also makes it impressive that Christ carried it from his location too. I mean, but also didn't Romans just do that as part of the ceremony of crucifying people? They made you carry your own cross, right?
I think that was the idea. Yeah.
So yeah, he was also a carpenter, so he probably made a really good one.
But
anyway,
build it and carry it.
That's it. Or it was built really shitty, and Christ is like, dude, this thing fucking kind of sucks, actually. he's like carried on his back.
This the picture, the piece looks to be like about the size of a 2x4, and it's hard to tell, but it's maybe like 2 feet long or something like that.
No, sorry, that your scale's fucked up. It's the very one sitting next to the Spear of Destiny picture.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the picture under your largest piece of the true cross.
Yeah, that's just a close up of it. So I would say maybe 12 inches long, and it's really thin. Usually pieces of it are chips, and they get put into cross like staffing.
Oh, it is really thin. Okay, I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, it's like a ruler.
yeah. It's a small little piece, but yeah, I mean that one I would say I don't doubt is real.
It could have chipped off of a cross or something.
Well, or the cross gets broken down, right, by his followers, and
a lot of these like
take a
pieces ones are reminding me of a thing that's done with sports memorabilia, where they like take a game worn jersey and like cut it up into a bunch of pieces.
I'll put it on trading cards and stuff, right?
Yeah,
that's cool. I mean, it's similar. Okay, I've got my piece of the true cross. What are you on?
I want the tongue and jaw of Saint Anthony.
Fuck. All right, good pick. So the tongue and jaw of Saint Anthony is, I think, one of my favorites.
Oh, this picture is wild.
Yeah, that's his jaw. He's broken into two displays, but Anthony of Padua was a Portuguese priest, theological genius, and master orator. He was also one of the fastest canonized priests of all time, having been beatified only 1 year post-mortem. He was known to be a champion of the sick and needy and holds the title of Doctor of the Church, which is a title reserved for individuals who made major theological progress. He was quick-witted, knew the scripture in and out, and was an incredibly captivating orator. He was of incredible importance to the Catholic Church. Legend has it that after he passed, his tongue remained damp, and it was extracted, as was his mandible, to be displayed in, I think, one of the coolest reliquaries of all time for veneration. His word was most respected, and clearly, above all else, he will be remembered for his speeches.
And this is why we have like his mouth and tongue, I take it, because he's known for his speech. This picture looks creepy as hell, dude.
So the white glimmers are reflections in the dome that the jaw sits behind, but
they look like eyes.
That is a fucking visage. That's fucking crazy looking, isn't it? Describe this thing.
It's like a bust, right? Except the head is like a hollow glass sort of dome, I guess. Yeah, and his jaw is sitting at the bottom of it. It looks like a skeleton jaw,
Yeah, because
It's
it
like
is.
this freaky looking, and he's got this big, huge headdress around the head part of the
Yeah.
bust. Super ornate gold as per usual, and yeah, there's reflections on the glass that is holding his jaw that look like pure white eyes just because of where the reflections are falling, and it looks really freaky.
His tongue is much less cool. It's just in a little glass ampule, but this is fucking awesome. I just love the like the halo behind him that like the image that the visage creates. It's so ornate and deep. I clearly the church liked this guy.
Yeah,
So
no kidding. They went all out on the housing for his jaw.
yeah, so cool. That's one of my favorites personally.
So this guy's going to be he's going to be a big locker room presence. He's going to be
Yeah.
giving team talks. He's going to be hyping
Yep.
people up. He's going to be picking people up when they're down. I think it's a good thing to have on the team.
I think post game, you're gonna have like he's probably gonna be doing most of the press meetings.
Yeah, he talks
He's
to the
gonna love it.
press.
So yeah, I think I'm going to take. I need some fuel for this.
I think this was going to be my next pick.
Engine. I'm taking the blood of Saint Januarius.
Oh, yeah, that was what I was going to go for next as well.
Whereas the jaw of Anthony is the coolest looking one, I think this just is the coolest relic that the Catholic Church possesses. And what I'm about to tell you is real. So
Okay.
this is a true phenomenon. Saint Januarius is an enigma, honestly. Every attempt I made to research him as an individual opens with, we don't really know anything about this guy, but legend has it. So what I'll share about him will be brief and needs to be taken with an amount of skepticism, like most of this. But he did exist as a person, for that I'm sure, and was a bishop and a martyr. It's said he helped hide and save Christians during the Great Roman Prosecution and paid the ultimate price for this. Now, what remains are 2 ampules of his blood, which miraculously return to liquid state 3 times per year in a very popular ceremony. It is also said that the blood will spontaneously liquefy in the presence of certain popes, and if it does not, that's seen as indifference of Januarius to the pope. Sometimes the blood does not liquefy, and that is taken as a bad omen. Honestly, his blood seems more important than him. This is real. So there are 2 ampules of his blood that sit in a larger silver glass case, also surrounded by glass. A larger silver case surrounded by glass in the front. The blood is solidified as it sits. And 3 times per year for 3 certain days, the Pope takes it out and gives it a shake, and the blood spontaneously returns to liquid form. I'm not lying. This is real. And
it's just like dyed oobleck or something.
The church is not scared of it being investigated scientifically. Like they're
interesting.
And generally the church is okay with science. So they've allowed it. They have rules about it, right? They need to preserve their relic. So you're not allowed to crack it open. You can't directly interact with the fluid because they understand that there's something going on here and it needs to be preserved. So you can't do much to it, but we have run it through electroscopes. We've run it through x-rays. We've done as much as we can externally. There is a high concentration of hemoglobin in there.
Oh, so
it's
it could
probably
be blood.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's pretty cool.
The ceremony has gotten more consistent as the world has gotten hotter, some people have said. I just think that it's gotten more consistent over the years. Temperature isn't exactly a factor in it, but like when it's shaken, it turns to liquid, and when it's left to sit, it recondenses. So pretty fucking cool.
That is pretty cool.
And that blood,
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I know, right? Like if I was ever in Rome, like that would be an amazing thing to go see. It's so cool. It's so interesting to me that there's like this giant ceremony that revolves around this guy, and he like isn't really known about really. So
yeah, we don't know. Like you said, his blood is much more important to the traditions of the Catholic Church than his story at this point, it seems. I like that you can sort of judge popes too.
Yeah, because like if his blood like turns to liquid around a pope, then people go, "Oh, he likes you." Like straight up, that's what they say. And it's just
he
like
likes you. It's like somebody's dog. Oh,
yeah,
look, he likes you.
You may pick another.
Okay. Oh man. I'm just gonna go for it, man. I'm gonna take the foreskin of
I was
Jesus
going to
Christ.
force you to take it no matter what, so I'm glad you took it.
You were going to force me to take it?
Well, because you were the last pick, so I could have picked not that.
That was going to be your last pick.
Well, no, my last pick was going to be not that, and then you would have only had one option left.
Oh, well, I want it, so.
Okay, all right, all yours. This one actually doesn't exist either.
Oh, man.
But it's talked about like it fucking does. Christ foreskin is something of fervent obsession. The church wishes it could find it, and many, many fakes have been rooted out. It's safe to say it does not exist, but if it did, it would be stored as described in the Bible, preserved in an alabaster box of old oil of spikenard. I do not know what that is.
Okay, oil of spikenard.
Yep.
Seems like a weird thing to want, even though I just picked it.
I mean, it's a portion of Christ's body, so I mean, like, I get it, but yeah,
I guess so. It's like a odd, specific part of his body to want, though. There are other parts that you could have, but you want his foreskin.
Well, his whole body disappeared after he rose to heaven, so like, that would be the only remaining piece.
Oh, so they're like, this piece could have been left behind on our earthly plane.
Yeah. I like to think that inside that box, it also like just disappeared. Like, no.
It ascended with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it would almost certainly have just been like thrown out, right? And then like decomposed.
So the last two picks we have are two skulls. The skull of Mary Magdalene and the true skull of Saint John Chrysostom.
Okay. Which one do you want?
I think I want Mary Magdalene, which will be apparent. And I think honestly, you're gonna just be glad that you have John Chrysostom. So those will be the last two picks. So I got Mary's skull, and you've got Chrysostom's skull.
Okay.
I'm writing
Skull
these
of
down.
Mary Magdalene. Oh my God, this is super cool looking.
Yeah. So Mary Magdalene, I got some shit to say about this actually.
Okay.
So Mary Magdalene was one of the followers of Christ. So this is all the way back to Christ. It supported him as much as any of the 12 apostles. She was a disciple, but not a direct apostle. She's also referred to as the apostle to the apostles and equal to the apostles. I think this is a patriarchal holdover just historically.
Sounds like it.
A woman just couldn't be on the same fellowship of these 12 guys, even though she financially and like directly supported Christ. So, whatever.
In all just being sexist. I get it.
Yeah. In all manner, she is essentially her own apostle of Christ. All that to say, she's fucking important and is revered along with the other 12. Many supposed pieces of her are claimed to exist, but I think, most uniquely, her skull is on display in a larger golden recreation of her in a macabre and abject visage. This is considered to be one of the most important relics in all of the Christian faith.
Yeah, the thing that this is being stored in is fucking cool.
It's awesome. It's like two golden cherubs holding up a like halfway through the shoulders up bust of Mary. And it's all gold. And she's got like a necklace on of Christ, and like her hair is really well done. And
I was going to say the sculpting on the hair is incredible.
So good. And there's this like kind of plating that's put on the very front of it. So then you can secure another golden piece that has like this perfect, like symmetrical glass dome. It looks like a fucking EVA helmet. It's awesome. And like that plates onto the front of this thing. And inside is a velvet lined like pocket that a blackened embalmed skull sits perfectly in. It is so cool.
It looks metal as fuck.
It's metal as fuck.
It's super cool looking.
All right.
This seems like a good pick. I don't know if my skull is gonna outdo that skull.
Yeah. Now we're on to the true skull of Saint John Chrysostom.
Okay.
John Chrysostom was an archbishop of Constantinople.
Okay, that's a pretty big
cool
job to have.
I just am glad that Constantinople got brought up twice in this episode. Known for his straightforward and practical interpretation of the scriptures, he was incredibly popular in his vocation, and as an archbishop held incredible sway, but was steadfast and confident in his seat. He would loudly criticize the moral laxity and materialism of the court that ruled Constantinople, but most notably the empress, And for this turmoil, he would ultimately be exiled and excommunicated. And in that exile, he would die. At some point along the way, someone determined that the dome piece of an exiled archbishop would be a hot commodity and took it as a token. But after he was canonized, his skull would be claimed and venerated. The issue is 4 of these skulls exist in total. So to tell which one is real is if any of them, is difficult. Let's just say that for intents and purposes of this episode, that we have the real one.
I like having this one because I love a guy who just looks at the scripture and fucking knows about the scripture and starts calling everybody out about how they're not following it. And it sounds like he did that. And
Constantinople didn't want to hear it.
Got in trouble because the royalty didn't like it.
Yeah. He also, like, when he left Constantinople, there was like a fucking divide in his wake of like Johnites and non-Johnites Chrysostomites or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of like kind of cult of personality stuff going on. So those are our picks. Jett.
Yeah.
Do you have two? Do you remember yours, or do you want me to read them both out?
Read mine out. I remember.
Right.
It would take me a second to remember all the ones I picked.
I have John the Baptist, the entire reunited corpse of him. I have the Holy Dexter. I have Thomas, the Doubter's Finger. I have the Heart of Saint Camillus. I have the largest piece of the True Cross. I have the Blood of Januarius, and I have the True Skull of Mary Magdalene.
All right.
You have a pretty stacked pick. The Crown of Thorns.
Yeah.
The incorrupt body of Saint Catherine. You have the Fingers of Pope Formosus, our boy. You have the Spear of Destiny, the Jaw and Tongue of Anthony of Padua, the Foreskin of Christ, and the True Skull of John Chrysostom.
All right.
So now I need to go run our teams through a panel of judges of Catholics to determine who has the cooler team of relics.
So you're going to have them like rank these or assign points, right? And then we're going to come back and see who has amassed more points based off of our judges' opinions.
Yes.
Perfect. I can't wait.
I'll see you next week.
All right.
We'll be right back. Okay, we're back, sports fans. It's been that's what people say when they're talking about sports.
Yeah.
It's been a hell of a season. It all happened in 1 week for us, 30 seconds for you. So it's been a crazy set of games, conflict.
Yeah, we had people playing like triple headers every single day to get this season done in a week. They were playing nonstop, sun up to sundown,
I think both contestants here, Jett and I, built some really strong inter-team synergies. In general, I think it's definitely been noted by certain people that the Crown of Thorns and the Spear of Destiny was a strong contender for Jett's side. The synergy there is impressive. You have both sides of the passion.
As a scoring tandem, they were incredible all season long. I mean, it's like they grew up together.
Yeah, well, didn't they go to the same training camp together too?
Yeah, I believe back in their teenage years in the youth teams, they had a bit of time together on the same teams, and they have not skipped a beat since going to the pros together. They've been fantastic all year long, week long. Excuse me.
They've even been together during like probably the most important game of the entire history of the franchise, frankly. So
yes, that's true.
Although they were on two, I would say, opposing teams back then, they're still playing with each other. You know what I mean? I think fueled by the blood of Saint Januarius on my side, together with the general healing power of the Heart of Saint Camillus, definitely keeps us running long. We're healthy, we're strong, we have really quick post-game recovery, which is not to be slept on, really.
No, and when you're playing a whole season over the course of a week, that is crucial, because I don't think your team faced a single injury all week long, which is impressive.
I think your team was incredibly motivated, to be fair. The tongue of St. Anthony of Padua is such a motivating speech creator.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be a great locker room presence, but we did still end up with some controversial players like the foreskin.
Yeah, who even knows whenever he's around, honestly. It's hard to say if he ascended with Christ to heaven or even stayed here. It's similarly difficult to find. I don't think we ever saw on the field the fingers of Pope Formosus. What's up with that?
I think he faced some injuries early in the season, and when he came back to the team, he wasn't the same. He wasn't at the level he needed to be a regular first team performer. And
being exhumed kind of has an effect on you.
That's true. It doesn't. It's difficult to come back from that.
Look, I will say that our team had a lot of trouble reining in the finger of Thomas the Doubter. Known skeptic, right? Like, he just wasn't really vibing with the team structure. I think he was kind of a bad pull for me.
Yeah, and when the team goes down, he doesn't react well. Even when a comeback is still possible, he tends to shut off a little bit.
I mean, with the Holy Dexter, especially being wielded by, like, I would say the Forerunner, John the Baptist.
Of course,
we have a tight team synergy that really runs well together. But yeah, he definitely gets in the fucking way. I also the one piece of the True Cross didn't really do much for us.
Really, I think opinion is split, but not a fan favorite, surprisingly.
Yeah, no. I was impressed to see your Incorrupt body of Saint Catherine just absolutely ripping it up on the field. She's been in there for a while.
Yeah, to me, not a lot of people saw it before the season, but to me, that was a strong pick from the start.
Sure, yeah,
I think
absolutely.
she's a proven talent. Maybe not the top level, but consistency is key, and she's beyond consistent.
A visionary.
Absolutely.
Like, truly a visionary. I think guided by the hand of Mary the Virgin, is just, you can see that just coming out in the field. And you're the only one of us that had a complete body. I had to reassemble John, so a little lax out there. And I mean, the skull of Mary Magdalene. I mean, apostle to apostles, right? Like, I mean, we're talking about pretty much the 13th apostle, and she ripped.
Yeah. Speaking of team chemistry, man.
Yeah. So we have votes in from the judges. The first vote I have here is from Ben, not a Catholic, but he knew enough, and he set me on this train of a fucking absurd episode idea. Ben said Steven's team is objectively better. I'm not
objectively.
Sure.
Damn.
I'm not sure if that's because I have all currently existing physical relics.
Yeah, to break the fourth wall, I do have two that aren't real.
Yeah.
That just don't exist.
But to be fair, not gonna lie, from Dylan says, not gonna lie, I personally think Jett takes the win. Crown of Thorns and Spear of Destiny synergy is just hard to beat. And if you throw in Jesus' foreskin, I agree mostly with what Dylan said, honestly. Like, we said it, we knew it, you knew it when you chose them. Crown of Thorns and the Spear of Destiny just work so well together. It's like peanut butter and jelly out there, honestly.
Yeah, that attacking duo is my main strength, and I'm glad that Dylan likes the foreskin pick. Like I said, opinions really split on that. It's a controversial pick, but it helped me out with this judge.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, when he shows, but the controversy, I think, does kind of will come to play, especially showing in season opinions. For teams, just team structure in general. But we're tied for the moment. The winning vote here comes from Dominic. He's a longtime listener, probably one of our first fans. Says, bro, truthfully, I'm gonna go with yours. Speaking of my team, Jett just lost me at the foreskin, and you went out on a limb.
I did. I took a risk picking the foreskin. Clearly, based off these second two judges, some people love him, some people hate him, and there's nothing you can do about that.
I mean, some people just think that interacting with foreskin at all makes you a Philistine, and I believe that I believe Dominic's probably in that group. I'm going to speak for him right now. So there we have it. What a crazy season. I don't know if we're ever gonna have another one. The Catholic Church kind of wants their reliquary back after the great blasphemy we just committed.
Yes, we've been playing with the relics for a little bit too long.
R&D is working on some replications, but they still can't figure out the blood of Saint Januarius. So who knows if we'll be able to get that back.
If anybody can know, it'd
be R&D.
It's the men and ladies down in R&D.
Oh, most certainly. So that's it. Thank you for joining us on our Reliquary Fantasy Draft. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Koolaid Stand Koolaid Stand _podcast. And then you can watch videos or listen to the videos with your eyes closed on YouTube. That's Koolaid _stand. And you can just follow us here on Spotify. Make sure you do that. Otherwise, we're gonna stab you with. No, fuck it. We'll crucify you.
Oh shit! You're gonna have to carry the cross too, and that shit's heavy.
Yeah, dude, it's big and it's heavy. See ya.